Okay, I think we're back. I think we're back. Anybody out there? I apologize. The lightning started, and I don't know if you caught that. It started to flicker. Oh boy, you out there? Are you out there? Anybody out there? Okay, I'm back. I knew the first time I saw the lights blink because I've got lights here, here, and here, and it went dit, 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 and then I heard the crack of thunder, and then I go, we're probably gonna go off, and it was, I was right. We went off. So if you're still out there, I appreciate you coming on back in the room. It's always something. I've always remembered if it can happen, it will. If something bad can happen, it will. So you always be prepared for it. And I was prepared, but I had to put in a new key and all that stuff because um, when it shorted out, and I've got this on surge, but you weren't here. Everything was flickering a lot, so it was starting and stopping, and that's when it like goes into fence mode, and that's what it did. It what are you doing? I'm not doing anything. It's happening outside. But we're back. And thank you for joining us on Vacation Station TV Live. Now, as I was saying before, the Rod Run is this 17, 18, and 19. It's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But the cars will be coming in because actually some already in town. The cars will be coming in probably Tuesday and Wednesday, and I will be going out, of course, and getting video, getting the live interviews and all that stuff. Um, the Judy Lee and Jimmy Lee, they were a real character. The two of them were real characters. I enjoyed them very much, and they're subscribers now. So if you're out there, Miss Judy and Mr. Jimmy, thank you very much. I enjoyed your car very much. He has a '36 Chevy two door, and that thing was pristine. He did a such a good job on restoring that car. It was immaculate. I just loved the way he did it. He was very thorough, and I'm a four door guy. I'm not a big two door guy. I've had two doors, but I'm a four door guy. But his car was beautiful. I'm sure he sold it, but I'm sure he did because it was that good. Power windows, air conditioning, power steering, all this stuff. And I mean, a lot of them have it, but he really paid attention to detail, and it showed when you look at the car very, very carefully that it was not just slapped together. Nicely done. Hi, Dan, the Mountain Man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm back up. The lights started blinking. I don't know if you caught that, but they kept blinking a little bit, and then they went down, they went on, they went down, they went on, and everything went off. And it's thank you for coming back. Yeah, well, I'm back up, back up. I had to put another key in here. It was like a protection. I've got the new Windows 10 on this computer, and it's got all this fail-safe stuff in it that it's like I'm not familiar with this. I haven't worked with this for a long time. This, especially this, the earlier Windows I've worked with, but 10 has got all this security stuff in it. It's like I'm surprised they didn't ask for blood. You know, like put your finger up there and we'll prick your finger and take some blood, make sure it's you. I appreciate all the fail safes. I do. And I've got surge protection on here. I got all that yesterday. And, but, it can only take so much blinking. Uh, a piece of equipment can only take so much. It either blows up, shuts down, or it goes into what they call that fail safe mode. Oh, got an error marriage. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for coming back. So I was asking you before, Dan, what's your next adventure? Where are you going to go? As he sips a cup of his delicious coffee. Do you like coffee, Dan? I know Stanley, you out there, and Crisco, you out there. I don't drink alcohol. Um, I don't do drugs. The only drugs I have to do are the ones I have to take for my stuff, you know. But it's been with me since 2004, and it's just part of my daily routine. I was I was, and I was going back to my other story. After I had that accident, I was in really bad shape for a long time. Because after that, I drink coffee, but don't care. Really, you don't care for it, but you do drink it. It gives you the buzz, right? It gives you that kick that you need. I always have a pot of coffee, and I drink a lot of water. I do. I haven't had now since I've been with Marie, and that's 13 years now. And I could say comfortably since 1985, I haven't had any soda. I do not drink soda at all. I don't drink any caramelized or beverage that's got fructose or anything like that. I'm pretty natural, and I drink it most because it's the yeah. I know before that, before 1985, and I was in radio at that time. I used to get those big. Do you remember those Thunder mugs? They were like 62 ounces of soda. I used to get that full of Coca Cola before I went on air, and I realized not only was my blood sugar really going crazy, but I had packing on the weight. I was drinking so much, yeah, big mugs, thunder mugs, I call them. God. Hi, Crisco. Thank you for coming back, my friend. You're back. Thank you. Thank you very much. Crisco's Country Life. He's got the two cutest goats I've ever seen. Bocephus, and I think everybody knows Bocephus is from, oh God, of course, Hank Williams Jr. And oh, no problem. Um, I think you'd appreciate this, Crisco. When I first bought the stations, the the first station I got was all country, and they played a lot of Hank Williams, and that's Hank Williams Jr.'s dad. You're cheating hard. I remember all that music. I played all his stuff, and I used to sing along with. I mean, all the oldies. It was an oldies country station. It was at the time, just when Garth Brooks was just hitting the airwaves. So, but the station itself was playing all the old country. I'm talking all the 40s, 50s, and 60s stuff. I did change it after a while because it wasn't making enough money. And let me see. I'm trying to see if memory serves me right. Right after we went country, we went sports. All Prime Sports. It was called Prime Sports, and it was we completely sports 24/7, 7 days a week sports station. It did okay, but what happens is you've limited your audience to only sports heads, and I know Crisco, you like that because you're a big sport head, and you would really enjoy that. Oh yes, met lots of celebrities. God, it just goes on. Have you ever heard? I met a lot of the earlier country guys. God, Randy Travis, um, Joe Diffie, the Bellamy brothers literally lived down the street from the radio station. They'd stop in all the time, and they'd sit and we'd party and talk and stuff like that. You remember the Bellamy brothers? Um, Let Your Love Flow. Randy Travis. Yep. I'm trying to think of it in my head because it's been so many years. Um, Joe Diffie. God, I could see their faces. It'll come to me as I'm thinking. Yes, lots of that era from the Garth Brooks era on. I met a good bunch of. Oh, what's his name? He's married. Oh, Vince Gill was one, and oh God, I can't think. He's married to that other country singer. My mind is going, and I'm really sorry. Um, God, I could see him. He's really in good shape. He's an older guy, and he's married to that other star. And Joe Diffie. Yeah, I met all those guys. I got pictures of them all over the place and stuff. It became every day for me. That's what I did. I had to meet them. It was the country life. Tim McGraw. There it is. Thank you. Stanley, you're right on the ball, my friend. Thank you. Tim McGraw. I met him before he was famous. He was just a little country singer doing the local circuit stuff. I remember that very, very well. Yeah. I was the first, my station was the first station to carry Rush Limbaugh back in 1982. And it was so new and he was so new, it didn't even cost me anything. They begged me to put his show on the air, and we carried it for quite a while. Everyone else was paying, because when you hear them on other stations, they're paying anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 a month or more, depending on your listenership you pay. And I didn't have to pay a thing, and I had a long-term contract with them because I saw what was happening. The Okay, be right back. Thank you, Dan. Don't go too far. Leonard Skinner. Um, I interviewed. Was on stage with. Oh God, what was his name? There was ZZ Top. There was the guys that were all white, the albinos. What the hell? My mind is. I need more coffee. You know, Edgar Winter and Johnny Winter. Interviewed them. Got to go in their tour bus, um, ZZ Top's tour bus, and Edgar Winter's tour bus. And this is once again back in the 80s. So there was a lot of drugs, a lot of slutty women. Not, I didn't partake in it. I was doing interviews and stuff, but it was typically a party in the bus. Very interesting stuff. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. You remember when Leonard Skinner? Oh yeah, I remember that. That was terrible. That was terrible because they were at their prime, and it's just one of those scary things that happens. That's a reason why you have to embrace every day because stuff like that happens, and you can't predict that. You don't know when it's going to. You don't know when you're going to shut your eyes and not wake up. You're literally just one breath away from death all the time. So live your life. Do all the crazy, not crazy, if you know what I mean. Do the things you always wanted to do, but were just too scared to do. Do it. Just do it. They were heading to do a concert in Baton Rouge. That's exactly right. They crashed. That was the end of Leonard Skinner right after that because that was the heart of the band, and it happens. I mean, look at what Bo Diddley and who was the other one, the Big Bopper and the earlier, going back to in the 50s. It just happens. You just don't know when the Grim Reaper is going to come knocking at your door. He's come knocking at my door. I can't tell you how many times. That's where I was heading in a conversation before the power went out. The damn power. Not only did I get struck with MS because some crazy chick hit me in the back, but since then, and now I'm all better now, by the way, not with the MS stuff because that never goes away. That's forever. But I've had 5 heart attacks already. Count them, 5. But now I'm all better because they rotor-rootered me out. They cleaned out the valves that were all screwed up, and I had 5. The last one, Marie was with me. We were here in this cabin, and I remember not a big Elvis fan, but I like Elvis. I do like him, but he was a little earlier for me. I was a big Beatles fan. Anyway, we're here, and I said, I feel really, really weird. I mean, let's go to the hospital. She wanted to call 911, and I just knew intuitively there was no time to call 911. So I said, let's go. She says, where are we going? I said, I'm driving there right now. Here I'm having a massive heart attack. I just get in the car. I put the pedal to the metal. I figure what do I have to lose? I'm not going to get in an accident or anything. I'm too good of a driver for that. But if I passed out, she would have been fine. I'm all buckled up. She's buckled up. But I raced down to the hospital, and they had the nerve. Here it is, I'm coming in, and I'm grabbing my chest. Okay, I'm not like hi. I'm here, for a checkup, or I'm having a colonoscopy or something like that. So I'm having a heart attack, and the lady goes, she goes, sir, you're going to have to fill out these forms. And she had like 10, 20 forms in her hand. So after a few expletives, I explained where she could take those forms and put them. And luckily there was a guy there who knew me, and he shoved the wheelchair under my ass. I mean, literally just shoved it under my ass. I went back, and he raced me down the hall, and they got me into one of those cubicle rooms. And I kind of got a little foggy after that, but they stabled me out, and they did a bunch of rotor-rooter. I call it rotor-rooter. It looks like a rotor-rooter. You know what rotor-rooter is? And they went through all my system, and they cleaned it out. and everything seems to be good. I just wanted to share that with you. Sounds like you truly have lived a life. And yeah, and Crisco, I even talked to you about this privately. It's not BS. Okay, it is my life, and I'm proud of my life. And I've had a hard life, and I've had a good life. And right now, I'm having my good life. I worked hard, and that's why I want to get back to what I said earlier. Don't wait to do something. For all of you watching right now, thank you for the people that have tuned in. All these fine folks. Don't wait because anything can happen. And you really do the things that you want to do or wanted to do. Don't let that list become so long that, and this could be your virtual bucket list of things that you wanted to do, and then all of a sudden you turn around and you're 80 years old and you're not doing anything. You're dribbling on yourself. You're crapping in your pants. You can't go anywhere. Don't wait for that. I'm already 65 and my bucket list is still this long. I've got so much to do, and I will do as much as I can, as long as God lets me. But I want to do with Marie too. We want to do so much stuff, and one of the things we really want to do is make this channel successful. And that's why I thank every single one of you guys who have signed up with us and has subscribed. I can't thank you enough that you've made a dream that I thought was, it wasn't necessarily not attainable, but I didn't realize it would be attained early. I'm so used to struggling, and I think Crisco, you know what I mean. You struggle and you struggle to get somewhere, and when you reach a certain milestone, you feel good about yourself because you go, I got here. Now, what am I going to do next? So you try to uh, always make your goals attainable. Don't make pie in the sky goals. Like, I'm going to be a millionaire. Well, the chances of that are slim to none. Or make them realistic. Say, this time next year, I'm going to do this with my life. And it could be something small or it could be something big, but don't make it so big that it's too far out of your grasp. The whole idea is, don't be on that merry-go-round that keeps going around and you keep grabbing for that brass ring, and it keeps going by and you miss it and you miss it and you miss it because you're never really ever going to attain those silly dreams that you're going to be a rock star, or you're going to own Trump Tower or something like that. Pie in the sky is not good. Attainable goals are things you can do that you can actually see progress as you're going every day towards them. That gives you the energy and the the wherewithal to move forward even more. And Dan the man, you can he could relate to that. When you're hiking, you set a goal. You say, I'm going to go 5 miles. I'm going to go 10 miles, and then you've reached that, and you go, can I go a little bit more? Yeah, maybe I can. Excuse me, maybe I can go another 5 or 10 or whatever. But you reach that goal. Like you, Crisco, I know you were talking about getting the goats, and that was probably a month ago, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you got them. I remember that when you did the "Gonna Go Get the Goats" video, and he got them. Now I know to some you're saying, "Well, that's a small goal." No, it's not. It's a goal that he decided to take on the responsibility of taking these two lives, these two young goats, and then raising them. That's a commitment, because you're not just going to throw them away when you're done. They're your babies. They're your pets. They entertain you. You entertain them. Ah. How do I have yours mixed up? Clarify. Dan the Mountain Man said, I think you have mine mixed up with another. Clarify for me so I get that straight in my head. If I did, I'm so sorry. Okay, you do hiking though, and you go out and do different things, go to different places, because I was watching your videos. I wonder who subscribed, because somebody just subscribed to me. I must have got him in my head. Oh, God. These are all our newest subscribers. Marie wrote these down. Pages. I am truly blessed. Each day with positive attitude. This is Crisco, by the way. Positive attitude with the hopes that when it's my time to leave the world, it's a better place because I passed. Yeah, I agree with you right there. Good. Good. Leave a good legacy. Don't. It's not good to leave a bad legacy. Where people go, oh, he's a jerk. He was an idiot. You want to leave a legacy, hopefully, that, man, he was just a cool guy. He was a neat guy, and I miss him. You never really die if people remember you from time to time. If as time goes by, people go, "Hey, do you remember that guy Crisco? He was neat. You're alive again. In their minds, you're alive, and you are alive at that point." Charleston video. Yes. Okay. Now I know who you are. I'm sorry. Get out and hike. Get, get out and do 10 miles right now. A hiker does a lot of hiking. Yes. And I've got several of them on here. Oh, I wish I could remember who that one. That guy was he just he had his GoPro with him, and he said, "I'm going to do another 10 miles." And I'm going, 10 miles. I'm lucky, like I said, if I get up and down these three stairs, these three levels here. And he said, "I'll do another 10." Sun's starting to go down. Oh man, I got to give it to that guy. Um, uh, Chris goes is right. You want to pass through this world not leaving a bad memory behind. You want to go through leaving a good memory, a legacy that people remember you for something good. Always give. Give of yourself. It doesn't have to be give out of your pocket. That's not what I'm trying to talk about. You give of yourself. You see somebody in distress, help them out. I do it all the time. See a turtle in the middle of, how many times I've stopped traffic on a highway? I lost count. And I mean, I'll be flying down the road. This could be in any of the states I'm going through. I'll see big old gopher tortoise, those big old gopher tortoises trying to cross the road. Nothing for me to stop sideways in traffic. Just pull and block the traffic. I don't care who's blowing their horn and what finger they're holding up at me. I'm going to get that tortoise over. The turtle is in the water, tortoise is on the land. I'll get that tortoise over to the other side to help him out because tortoises live a very long time. They outlive you and I. When you see a tortoise, like a gopher tortoise that's maybe, let's just say, that round, he's probably anywhere from 50 to 80 years old. If they get any bigger than that, he's already outlived you. They have an extremely long life. And excuse me, my sinuses from this weather. They have a lifespan that's much longer than us. They live 100, 120 years. And so they command some respect. They've been here long before us. And I don't have any problem helping them out. How many stray dogs I have taken in. When I lived in Florida, I lived in the Blanton area, and I had 15 stray dogs. Every one of them was a stray. Took them in. I built kennels, and when I say built kennels, I poured cement, had water, fresh water piped in. They had roofs over them. They had the double perimeter cages because I had access to all this stuff and I built them all their own kennels, 10 by 10 kennels, 10-foot by 10-foot dog kennel. Each one had their own door, their own roof, their own house with a heating lamp that they'd all turn on automatically. I had them set for the winter because it got a little cool for them. And the lights would turn on and heat the rooms up and stuff. And they were all stray dogs. I find them all over the place. And I don't have any problem with it. I had the land, I had the time. And I can't see something suffer. I don't like seeing animals suffer. I don't like seeing people suffer, but if people suffer because of themselves, I don't have a lot of pity for them. I may give them some advice, talk, whatever I can do to help. But if somebody's always on a collision course with death or um, something, some substance abuse, I'll listen to the story, but unless you're willing to change, all my words won't mean anything to you. You know what I mean? Unless you're ready to change, nothing I say is going to make any difference. When you make a change, then come back and talk to me, and we can work something out. But if it's just a sob story, and heard it all, I've heard all the stories. I'm sorry, I digress. I met. Oh, you met Smoky Mountain the hiker William. He's a nice guy. He's a really quiet guy, real nature lover, and he makes some good videos. He loves to take long walks, and he's always getting some really good shots nature wise. And I complimented him on that. I sent him a message that I had talked about him, and here I'm talking about him again, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't mind talking about other YouTubers like Crisco's Country Life and Dan the Mountain Man. And where did Stanley go? Stanley, he was there a few minutes ago. At least I can read the screen now. William's a great guy. He is. He's a nice guy, very quiet. And, it's the quiet ones that I tend to talk to because they usually have a good story to tell. They usually have something interesting that they've done and that they'll share that with you if you sit and take the time to talk with them. Some of the loud, empty tankers, I'm just not. I'll talk with them, but it's this year out that year because I would rather hear an interesting story, one good interesting story, than 500. Yeah, I've heard this nonsense before. And that's just from being hardened in radio and other stuff, listening to all the BS that comes out of politicians' mouths. It happens all the time. Yeah, I think we do. We think a lot alike. There's a lot of people that I'd like to meet and be more friendly with because we're like minded, kindred spirits. There's a lot of people that, they're just passing through my life. And I've had many friends, or I should say, acquaintances that have come and gone. And they're good people, but we didn't always see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. And it doesn't mean it's bad, it just means we're different. And I'm not a party animal. Now, back in my early teen years, everybody's a crazy person when you're young because you're trying to find yourself. But as I got older, I was focusing on I wanted to do something. I always knew that I was meant to do something, not just hang around and do nothing. Some people don't have a direction. I always searched for more. A quiet person. Yeah, yeah, I could tell. I could tell. You're an extroverted introvert. I could relate to that. When I'm home, I don't say anything. When I'm out and about doing my regular routines a day, I'm very quiet. I don't talk much, but you get me in a crowd of people, and I love to have fun. Love to joke around. Enjoy a good laugh with people, a good story, and good uh, fellowshipping. Just talking with everybody and getting to know each other, so we kind of find out where we've come from, what we've done, what we like, what we don't like. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Western North Carolina. What's your nearest town, Dan, that you're near? Dan the Mountain Man. Check out his site. Check out Crisco's Country Life. Check out and all the big shout outs to all of them while you're doing that. Larry Greenman. I don't know if Larry's still there. Larry, I hope you come back. He's got a nice site. Um, Kelly Huff. I don't know how many of you do you have any people from another country? We've got 3 or 4 now from other countries. We've got Vietnam, Philippines, China, and India who are watching this channel right now. Hello, everybody out there. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Um, Alana, Kaylin, got even a ham operator. My dad was a ham operator, ham radio, and this guy is now a subscriber. KB2 KB2ZYA. Tom, if you're out there watching, thanks for joining us. I appreciate that. He's a ham operator. You don't find many of them around anymore. Ham operators are the ones that you can always count on. They know where the emergencies are, and they know how to contact people in an emergency. They're using ham, which is high frequency radios that far exceed. When the lights go out around here, the ham operators are going to be the guys you want to be around, because they're the ones that can communicate with anybody around the world or in your local community, because they're working on. They're not working on this digital stuff, so it's all tubes and it's really neat. My dad was a big ham operator, except when it comes to cars, trucks, and racing. Yeah, then you're a clown, right? Then you don't shut up. Uh, Thank you, Stanley. Thank you for being back. Oh, that's because that's your passion, right? Isn't that what you love? Right? Isn't that what you like? When you're passionate about something, you can't help but gab about it. Oh, really? Your son loves ham, Crisco? That's pretty cool. That's rare. That is really rare. How did he learn ham? From who? You got me talking. Uh, Well, so it just takes a little prodding. Dan, it just takes a little prod. I understand you're shy. Okay, very good. So, what is his calls? What's your son's call letters? um, I think in this area we're still K, aren't we? I think we're still K. I think when you go up to Michigan, it's W. My father was K2BNG. He got his license in 1938. He was a ham operator from 1938. Always talking. Up until he got really sick, he had his ham equipment, and he had a separate room. The bedroom was a spare bedroom, which was really his ham room. And he always would talk people Australia, all over the world, other ham operators. And I was always fascinated by that because he'd have conversation, kind of like what we're doing right now, only in a simpler way. Morse code, yeah. My dad tried. Oh, there, K15JMB, very good. JMD K, yeah, because it's K is this side of the hemisphere. W's up top. I don't remember all this. My dad tried to teach me Morse code, but I just didn't have the patience. He'd always yell at me for that. So he's still a ham operator. How about that? I can't wait to tell Marie about that because it's rare to this day. Um, Somewhere my father's equipment is. I don't know exactly where it is, but he has his equipment. It'd be fun to fire that up and talk to people. Yeah, he loves it. Yeah, the ham operators are a breed of their own, aren't they? They're just different. They look at life differently, and that's fine. That's cool. They're usually. Am I right in saying he's probably very quiet, a shy guy? Would rather be in front of his. Does he have a lollipop mic? You know the. Does he use a lollipop mic? They're round and you squeeze them. That's really popular with the ham operators. I don't know why you squeeze it. You know. CQ, 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 K2BNG calling. I mean, I could hear my dad doing it for hours. He would be doing that stuff. Damn, what is it? My brother did ham radio in his teen years. Not sure if he still does. That's really weird. I've never met. Now I've got two people that do ham. That's amazing. I guess this is the natural morph from ham operating and what CB. Do you? I hear more thunder. Okay. Do you remember CBs? Nope. I don't. I know the truckers still do CBs. They still communicate that way. But I remember when everybody had a CB radio in their car. I could still remember that an 8 track and a CB radio. I never put a CB radio in my car. I just wouldn't do that. I had an 8 track, no doubt about it. I can remember listening to the Moody Blues and all that stuff. Oh yeah, I can remember that. And they never worked right when you went over a bump. They go. I could remember that. Yeah, your grandfather. Thanks. Thanks. Appreciate it. Probably I'm as old as your grandfather. Yes, CB radio. You can. I mean, the truckers still use them, and it's it. I mean, that's how they communicate. They get back and forth. I'm sure the CB works better than cell phones in the mountains because cell phones just don't work in the mountains. CBs just go right through. You know, they travel right through. That's why you can't like FM. You can't FM radio. When you go through the mountains, you lose it because FM travels horizontally. The waves travel straight across. So if they hit up against the mountain, they're blocked until you get around the mountain. AM radios go up to the ionosphere and bounce down to their respective sites. That's why if you listen to, be awesome to see if you could find the hammer. Yeah, I know it's somewhere. Where I do not know. I'd have to think about that because he had some. He had a couple of small ones, and then he had these big ones. My father was an engineer, so he it would be nothing for him to tear this thing apart, completely rebuild these things. It was way beyond what I could do. And he would have these old tube radio, tube hams, big 806s. I use the 806s. It's really weird because I was talking to my father one day, and he had come to the radio station. He goes, "That looks like an 806 tube." And I go, "How do you know about 806s?" That's what I use in my ham operator. And they're long. They look like this microphone. They're about the same size as this microphone, but they have little prongs coming down, and it's a vocal tube. And I go, "Yeah, I use them all the time. I got to have two for each." I should have brought one up here. I still have my first tube that I burnt out of the radio station. It's about this big, and I kept it. It's a big tube, the 825s, and a big tube, really expensive, and I blow them out all the time. And it's funny, I found a guy because I used to send away for them to China. That's where the tubes were. But I found a guy in Spring Hill, Florida that was, he kept them, kind of a weird, he's probably dead now, but he was in a suburban neighborhood and he had a really nice house, but the house wasn't where he lived. The house was completely filled with tubes. God's honest truth. Richard was his name. And I got wind of this through, we all talk together, radio people. Where do you get this? Where he goes, "There's this guy in Spring Hill, not far from you. And he's got all the tubes you want. He's cheaper, and you can get him that day." Because sometimes if I blew out a tube, I would be down for a week because the tubes blow. You can't go to Walmart to buy these stupid things. And I remember knocking on the guy's door. And, "Who are you?" And I said, "Hey, I'm here from such and such radio station." "Who sent you?" It was kind of like, the old speakeasies. And I go, "Such and such sent me over." He goes, "Okay, what are you looking for?" I said, "I need some 825s, or there's 813s, 815, 825s. I need this, and these. Come on in." And you go in, and there's every room in this 4 or 5 bedroom house was nothing but tubes, boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of every imaginable tube, from the smallest tubes to large FM tubes that, no exaggeration, stand 2 feet tall and usually 18 inches wide. Big, giant tubes. And he'd sell them $15,000, $20,000. They were really expensive. My tubes were a couple $100 each, no more than $300 each. And he would have them. And when I blew them out, I'd just go see Richard. And he had no problem. After a while, we became good friends. Yeah, I used to. My dad had his CB in the car, and he talked with the truckers all the time. All the time. He would use his call letters, and he would chat with the truckers. My dad was different. Yeah, you'd have to see this house, Dan. To see this house, it was a ranch-style house that was kind of almost V-shaped, like that, and it was a good-sized house. It was at least 4 bedrooms that I could recall, maybe 5, but there were at least, and now I'm talking the living room and all the other rooms. Every room but the bathroom, had tubes in it, and not one or two. I'm talking cases and cases of tubes, and anything else you needed, tube sockets, and all the things I needed. And he was my go-to guy for 15 years. He was the go-to guy. And I was happy about that. That was a lot of fun. What other craziness can I talk about? So the rod run is going on this weekend. Weather should be very, very good. This storm should pass over, and you're going to notice a real change in the weather. It's like I said earlier, it's going to what the weatherman said. I went on the phone. It's going to be football weather. So that means it's going to be cool and clear and a great weather for a rod run. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am. If you haven't checked out the videos on the rod run, there's 4 of them that I put up, and each of them have interviews and of different people. All in all, I think I did around 35 interviews, but I didn't put them all on the videos. I took out the selective ones, the ones that would interest you. I didn't want to don't bore you with, some of them are good. Well, actually, they're all good, but and it's not because I did it, because they were good. It's just that it's too much. I need to put in, you got to have content. You've got to have cars from the front, cars from the back. Then you got to have an interview or two, and then more, because you guys want to see what I want to see. I want to see the inside of the car, the outside of the car. I want to get a feel for what the car is about, and then if I could talk to the guy, um, I can find out more about it because these guys worked on those things. They know more than I will ever know, and they give you all this information that you can go home with, and that's why I enjoy talking to them because they always tell you something you didn't know, almost always. Real question: How awesome is it? How awesome is it to live in the Smoky Mountains? On a scale of 1 to 10, Crisco, a 12. It is a real blessing for me to be here, and I'm still alive. I can still walk around. I can still do things. It was a dream of mine for 40 years, and it haunted me. Someday I'll find them. I know they're around here somewhere. When I was on the air doing my yelling and screaming or laughing and joking with everybody, I'd be drawing on my business cards. I had my personal business cards always there in front in case the guests came in. I always gave them the card. But on the back of the cards, I would always draw little, and I'm a good draw. I can draw very well, and I paint. So I was drawing these landscapes on the little business card of the mountains with a cabin and all the little things that I wanted and how it would look. And I did that for 40 years. So I had these piles of things. My wife is listening. What's your wife's name? Let me say hello to her. What's her name? What's her name? But on the cards, I would draw what I dreamed I wanted. And it was always it was the Smoky Mountains with a cabin somewhere, not at the top. I never wanted to be at the top. I understand exactly. Vanessa, how are you, dear? Thank you for listening. I really mean that. Thank you. Everybody that's listening is a blessing to me. Because and Marie, if Marie was here, but like I said, she ran away with Sven, the pool guy, and we don't even have a pool. I know she's listening. She's at work. Marie's at work. She got called into work. Otherwise, she would be here, and I'd be teasing her right here. But now I could tease her from a distance. But Vanessa, that's very kind. I do appreciate it. And you're always welcome up here, Vanessa. Anytime you want to come up with Crisco and Bocephus and Mimi and stuff, bring them all. I'd love to have the goats on the deck. That would be such a trip. The goats, the raccoons, and the bear. How cool could that be? You know? But yes, Crisco. The Smokies are amazing. It's a different way of life. There's so much to see and do that I don't think I could do it in one lifetime. I enjoy it here. I feel better here, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Tampa, I hated. I hated Tampa. It was a typical city where it's me, and only me attitude of everybody. I did it because that's where the money was. That's where the jobs were. That's where I did what I had to do in order to get here. Nobody was going to give me this. There's no silver spoon in my mouth. We do not come from a rich family. My father had to work 2 jobs to keep food on the table, and he worked very hard. And he always told me, you want something, go out and work for it. He goes, I can't get you a car. I can't get you this. I can't get you that. He says, but anything, advice you want, I can give that to you for free. And we had a very open relationship where we could talk very clearly to each other. I can't imagine having the goats in the car. Be interesting. It'd be an interesting 13 hours. Here's another funny story. When I was living in Blanton, and I had the property there, I went to this guy to buy a calf. I wanted to have a little calf. I wanted a cow. I always wanted a cow. I had 4 horses. I had 4 llamas. I said, I want a calf. So we went to where the guy had the calves. And he just had a bunch that he was ready to sell. He was going to take to market to sell. And he said, why don't you just take one of these? And I go, how much? I didn't even know. $45 for a cow? I'm going, damn, that's cheap. Yeah, $45. So I peeled off a couple of 20s and a 5, and he took the cow out of the corral area. And I'm going, now what am I going to do with this? So at the time, I had a Mazda with a cab back, Mazda truck, pickup truck. And it had the regular seats and it had the cab back. That's where the cow went. That's where the calf went. He was in the back seat. And I remember stopping at a Burger King because I was hungry. And I pull up to the window, and the lady goes, "What do you want?" And I said, "I need da. I give it this." And as I got up to the change window, the cow stuck his head out the window, and that lady almost, I'm sure she dropped some mud on that one. That was a funny time. But I had that cow for quite a while, and then it got big, and then I gave it to the farmer up the street. He had a lot of it was a dairy cow, and I okay, come and take it. He was right along my prop. My property was butt up against. This is in Florida, 648 acres of cattle property, cattle and cow property. So it was nothing for him to come over with the tractor, and he had the little cage on the wheels, and he just kind of pushed the thing in there, and he took it to his property because it got too big for me to handle. It just was too much. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. I appreciate you being here with us tonight, and I will watch. There you are. I can finally focus on your face. There you go. Hopefully, I'll see you this weekend at the Rod Run. Make sure you look me up. You'll probably see me before I see you. Just tap me on the shoulder, and we'll get together, talk, have a cup of coffee, go out, get a soda, something to eat, whatever. Doesn't matter with me. But I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you soon. Thank you. I do thank you for that. Oh, who did that? Oh, there's Marie. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? She's helping me out. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. She's such a good girl. She works hard. She did this, by the way. I know you can't. Let me see if I can. She wrote all these names. I know it's hard for you to see because it doesn't pick up ink, but she did all this. She has a whole loose leaf. She put together a loose leaf of all our subscribers. Now this is key. Remember, you can't see the stupid thing. It's black to me, but you can't see it on the. It's real key that if you're out there and you haven't quite subscribed yet, subscribe, like, comment, and hit that notification bell. Ding, 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 ding. You're going to need it. It's important that your name is on one of these lists because you can't be part of anything that we're going to be doing in the near future. Yes, honey. Yes, my dear. Yes, my dear. Hey, honey, Crisco's wife is listening. Vanessa, say hello to Vanessa. I'm really happy, Crisco, that your wife joined in. I was wondering. It's like, you never include your wife. I was wondering, does he have her chained to a pipe somewhere? I don't know. But now I know that Vanessa is alive and well, and so is Bocephus and me. Crisco, is it Mimi or Mamie? I think it's Mamie, isn't it? Mamie or Mimi? I think it's Mamie. I love Vanessa. There. Oh, that's very sweet. The Smokies, Crisco. Now, you've been up here. You know how beautiful it is. I don't have to keep hammering that into your head. It's just a different way of life, especially if you're out of the tourist area. I would never recommend going to the tourist area unless you're into the touristy thing. I'm not. I'm fiercely a private person. So's Marie. We like our privacy, and I've never been for neighbors. No matter where I've lived, I've always opted to be as far away from people because I like being able to have my animals. I like having my gardens. And I want to do it where I want to do it. If I want my garden over there, I want my garden over there. If you're in some of these communities, they have the HOA, and they're notorious for being really a pain about doing things, what color and all that stuff. I just am not in what color your house can be, where you can put this, where you can put that. I don't want to be told. It's my property. When you pay my bills, then you can tell me where I'm going to put it. So that's why I like it up here, because it's you can do anything you want, kind of. Within reason, you can do anything you want. You can put it where you want. And you can have your animals. You can have all your little critters. Nobody bothers me about the raccoons or the bear or anything because there's nobody around. So I don't care. I'm glad you joined in, Crisco. Thank you. Got to go put the goats in. Really enjoyed visiting. Yes, 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 yes. Say hello to Bo. And but you didn't tell me. Is it Mimi or Mamie? The other goat. I keep forgetting. I'll try to get it locked in my head. Is it Meme like that or Ma? I forget how you did the other one. Mimi or Mamie? I forget sometimes. It's just it happens. Mamie. Oh, okay. Mamie. Okay, I got it. So I'll remember that. Mamie and Bo. I just call it Bo. Bo Cephas. We can call it Bo, and that's okay. Hey, Bo. Hey, Bo. I love that you had the ball for him. He had a ball with that ball, didn't he? That was funny to watch. It was, Did he pop it? It was fun to watch. It really was. That was a good video. I'm sure you got a lot of hits on that one. The ball was adorable, and your aunt gave you that was nice. You ran. That was a great gift for Bo. But anyway, I digress. If you have to go, put the goats up. I'm sorry. I understand. Anyone else wants to join in? Please feel free to come on board Vacation Station TV Live, and some more shout outs for people. These are uh, the Pet Goose. I got another one. There's another brand new one. Pet Goose. This guy has a goose. It's great. He's got Crisco. If you get a chance, if you're still there, go to the Pet Goose. Wife wouldn't have to ask me twice. No, I bet not. I bet not. Um, you know, maybe things will change for you. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. I think you would enjoy it. I think she would too. It's such a calm way, and it's you don't have the heat, and I can't take the heat. You know that. It's sure the summertime gets there's always hot, but it's right like around now. The next week or two, it's going to be cool, and it never really gets cold. Cold. I mean, there are some cold days, but you throw a jacket on and everything's okay. Someday, someday you will. But check out this guy, Pet Goose. You may enjoy it. This guy has a goose that was check it out was abandoned 5 times. Whoever had it, different people abandoned this goose, and you know that geese are they they get attached to their owners like you would get attached to your goats or you'd get attached to a dog, and then to abandon it, they have issues. So this guy's got it. He's a really nice guy, and he's got enough property where the goose goes around, does all those little things, and it's a really good program. It's fun to watch. It's all about the goose, pretty much. It's all about George is his name, George the Goose. So type in George the Goose and you'll see the videos I'm talking about. It's neat to watch. I enjoy it. It's heartwarming because it's he's taken this goose under his wing, no pun intended, and he's given it a home, and it seems to be happy. The goose seems to be very very happy. But when you're up this way, or let me know when you're coming up this way, we will get together. Okay, we will and make sure that you bring your wife and you can bring if you want to bring Bo and Mamie. Sure, but that'd be such a trip. Uh, we got the goats outside. They wouldn't have very far to go. That's the problem. There's no, there's where we are. There's very little flat property. Very little. It's all literally the house is on a large hill, and if you step off too far from the property, you go down. It's down to the brook, and it's not an easy walk going down to the brook. It is the incline is extremely steep. You got to be a goat, I guess, to get up and down it. They might actually enjoy that. I wouldn't. I have to go down there sometimes because they throw their dishes down that way. Silly raccoons fight over the food, and they get into a scuffle, and the dish rolls off the deck, and then you hear it go clank, 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 and then Jeff has to go down the hill and go get that dish, and I've done it many times. Oh, he popped the green ball. Are you gonna buy him another one? They make there's a lady not far from here. They have she's got a donkey, pretty sure it's a donkey and a horse, and they have a pretty big ball that they roll around. It's fun to watch them, but it's not. It's meant for animals. It's very thick and very tough because I see the donkey beats the heck out of it. I mean, really beats the heck out of the ball, and it's never popped. It's still there, and it's been a year now. So you may want to go to a local feed store or a place where you get hay and where they have horses and stuff like that. And I think you can find that ball. Um, they make them in different sizes because I've seen they have a smaller one because they had a small. He's not there anymore. A pony, a little miniature pony, and they must have sold it. And he would play with the ball. He'd roll around. But they got this big ball. Crisco, it's big and they kick it around. I actually, when we first moved here, I got a video of it somewhere where I just had to stop the horse and the mule or the donkey. Forget which one it is. Could be a mule the way the ears are. They would push it back and forth to each other. They really played. They knew. They push it, and the horse would take its hoof and move it, and the donkey and push it back. It was fun to watch. And they're just down the street. I'll show you where they are when you come up here. When you do come up here, I'll take you around the places. I'll show you some of the cool sites, the places that I've discovered that I'll share with you and you share with someone else. There's a lot just in this little area that we live. There's so much going on, and you keep going. A couple of more miles, there's even more to do, and it's all free. I don't do. Marie and I do not do the tourist thing. We're not into it. Um, just not into it. I'm not into going to all these touristy things because it's touristy. I want nature. I want to be out. I want to be where God's country. I want to be where it's not made up. If I want Disney, I'll go back to Florida and go to Disney. They do it. They're the best at faking nature as anybody I've ever seen. But no, why should? Why would I go to a place, pay them $50 to look at a make believe river when I'm right here? I can go out my driveway and there's a river right there, and I can get on a tube and go down the river, and it's not fake. It's not plastic or fiberglass. It's real. It's literally real. We can go tubing or kayaking. They do that right around here. There's rivers everywhere. Frisco, they're all over the place. There's all these places. There's boat rentals. There you can go swimming. What's kayaking and what's the other one? Canoeing. They even do pontoon boats. They've got, of course, they got everything up here. But there's so much to see and do, and the way of life is very calm. It's all right. You got to go. Heading out. Goodbye, Crisco. You have a great week too. Vanessa, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Give Bo a kiss. Give Mamie a kiss, and give him some extra food for me. Okay, I'll see you. Very good. Very good. Uh, that's nice. Who else do we have on board that wants to talk? Feel free to. I don't even know what time it is. And of course, now my clock is completely wrong. I've got to reset the clock. That lightning hit. Honey, if you're watching stuff, the lightning was all around the house and knocked everything off. It really screwed everything up. It's almost 9 o'clock, so it's cool. I had a good show. The Rod show, the Rod run is going on this weekend. Yes, I will be out there. Yes, very much so. Uh, what do we got here? Dollywood's Harvest Festival. That's the Southern Gospel Jubilee and Great Pumpkin Luminaries. They're going to be out there. That's always fun. That's always fun. Been there many times. It's fun to see that. That's like one of the only. There's two places that we will get seasons passes to, and that's Anakeesta and Dollywood, because those two have something to offer everybody. The way that they lay it out is really cool. The other ones, I'm just not into it. I've seen all the videos, and I was already bored from that. So it's like, no, I'm not going to do that stuff. What else? The annual Old Mill Heritage Day. That's coming up on the 17th as well. You may want to check that out. Um, Coming up in October, which is just really right around the corner, is National Quartet Convention. That's a big draw. I don't know if you've been up here during the quartet. That draws 10 times more of a crowd than any rod run or any car show could ever draw. The streets and the hotels are all booked in advance when the quartets are here or when the quilting fest is in here. And I know that you laugh at that, but it draws a huge crowd. The quartets from all over the nation come here and they do their thing. They fill up every place. There's always an event going on. So you may want to check that out. That's the first through the 3rd of October. Yeah, it's short this year. I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. The 22nd annual Smoky Mountain Trout Tournament. I know Crisco, you're gone, but I wanted to tell you about that. The trout. It's on the third through the 4th of October, and I've never been to one. I might go and shoot some video there. I don't know what goes on, so I may have to. I'll just look it up on YouTube and see what the deal is and where it is. I don't even know exactly. It doesn't tell me exactly where it's going to be. Let's see what else. Halloween trick or treat. They also had the Pigeon Forge Halloween Spooktacular and Safety Day event. Then they got the Halloween trick or treat on the 31st. That's throughout the city of Pigeon Forge. Gatlinburg has them too. And I'll be telling you about that. I'll be incorporating Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, Townsend, and other places in and around a 25-mile range. That's to give all of you that might be coming up this way an alternative. If you're thinking about coming up here, what I'll do is make sure that you have different things you could do if you want to, and I'll list them on the site when I do the videos so that you can contact these places. And I try to do a thorough job. I really do. And if I'm not, I apologize. I'm trying to fit 3 pounds of bologna into a 2 pound bag. You know, the videos are only so long, and I can only put so much information into them without boring you. I mean, if you want a magazine, you get a magazine. If it's all going to be writing, you get writing. I don't want to give you just writing. I want to give you some entertainment too. My slant on things, the people's interview, their slant on things, and then the content itself, so that it's a fine balance. It's important to have a fine balance when you're doing a video so that you don't bore people. And my job and Marie's job is to entertain you with the best possible video that we could put out. And everyone is getting better because what I'm doing is trimming the fat. I'm going through my videos and saying next time I'm not going to do that. That's too much BS there. I need to condense that and give more content here because I'm not used to doing these short little videos. When I was doing TV and stuff, we have an hour show, and you do all this video and then you bring it to the suite where the guys cut it all down and edit it down and put together a cohesive show for you. But here it's me doing all this stuff, and so I get all this video, and when I'm doing these videos, I don't just shoot what you see. I don't just literally. I have hours of video that I go through. I take, like I said, when I did the car show, I had around 35 interviews, and out of those, you see maybe 4. The others I have banked away. They're in the vault, and they just sit there. And maybe I'll use them, maybe I won't use them, but I always have them, and I have them to fall back on just as a memory once in a while. If I want to look at them, oh, I remember that guy was a funny guy. He was interesting. Da da da. Might be able to use them because they're not dated. They're interviews, and I make sure I don't ask dated questions if I can. But we try to make sure that the videos we give you are solid, informative, and fun, not shaky all over. I laugh sometimes at how people don't take their craft seriously. And obviously they're not serious if you're not keeping it steady. I don't know if you can hear the raccoons, they're fighting. Hello, Stanley. Are you back again? Hi. Good to see you. This really works good that I can read the screen. I'm 6 feet away from the monitor. I can actually make it a little bit bigger, but I didn't want to make it too big. but I can actually read the monitor, which was like one of my big complaints. Uh, but my job, my quest, my job one, and I believe Marie's too, is to give you an entertaining video that you'll look at time and time again and share with people. And it's important that you share the videos. Please do. If you have friends somewhere, another state, another country, whatever, send it to them, share it to them. Hit that little arrow, send it on over to them. And always like and subscribe. It's really important. Our magic goal right now is 1,000. If, and I can actually see it happening because literally 3 months ago I had nothing. I told Marie, we going to get anybody going to watch this thing? I don't know. I don't know. This is all brand new. I don't know. I don't know. And my first video was Rosie Bear. So if you go to our channel and go to the very bottom of the videos, my very first video was Rosie Bear at the door. And I took that with my cell phone. And I was proud of it because it was a quick, I think it's 43 seconds long. Yeah, it is. It's 43 seconds long. And I put some effects in there and stuff because I was already bored from the earlier videos that I took of bears and the raccoons. I go, this is so simple. This is mindless. This is not, if this is what YouTube is about, I'm not interested. If it was just boring stuff. So I started putting little things in and sound effects and voice effects. And I go, oh, this could be fun because that's what I used to do when I was doing my radio show. I did sound effects, voice of comedy, and I said, oh, this could be fun. And I started watching all these other channels, and a lot of them do a lot. They're funny. Some of them are hysterical. Some I've woken Marie up many times laughing at some of these guys, the stuff they do, because they've got a great sense of humor, and it transcends from their camera to you, and that's an art. That's an art, and I strive to do that. So I admire some of these people, and I thank them for putting a fire back under me because I'd taken a 4 or 5 year break from all electronics, from everything, literally. And Marie can attest to that. I wouldn't touch the computer. I wouldn't go near it because I had the two radio stations. They each had 6 computers, and I would have to go from station to station and take care of all these computers because I was the administrator. It's mine. And I would have to do all this stuff. And I did that for so many years. I just got burned out from just constantly working on it. Now, granted, I had them completely automated. I was the first in the area to automate radio stations in the area. And it completely automated. I can run everything. I could run both radio stations from my phone. And the guys go, how do you do that? I go, it's a secret. But I told them eventually because they were begging me. They go, I can't, I got to fire these people. Nobody wants to work. So I call the owners up and I'd say, okay, here's what you got to do. And I would tell them. And they thanked me after that because they wound up trimming the fat in their company like I trimmed the fat in my company. they, I can remember my employees literally took a dump when I told most of them, you're fired. They're all gone. I've automated the station. Tired of hearing all the whining and the crying, and I need this day off. I need that day off. The baby's colicking. My grandmother died for the 5th time. And it's like, you know what? This is my business, and there's only one person that's going to work as many hours as me, and that's me. And so this is your last paycheck. And I automated the whole place. I kept a few people on that did things for me to keep the place running. But for the most part, I had 9 employees for each station. And that was just the sales crew and the air staff. And I got rid of everybody but my air staff because they did other stuff, and they were able to do production commercials and stuff like that. And I finally had enough, and it was time to trim the fat, modify, and regroup. And that was the best thing I ever did. The stations never ran better. I never had less phone calls. Oh, I even had it where the station would call me up. I had the sign system. It was called SINE sign system. I, I bought it from the trade show. I was listening to the guy, and I said, "What will this do? It'll call you up when the transmitter is out of tolerance. If the transmitter that's running the radio station was not tolerant to FCC rules. It has to be within tolerance, 10%, 10% plus or minus either way, or you get fined. I mean, they're really strict about that. So I was always very aware of that. And also, if the antenna array went awry, the array went awry, it would call me and it would talk to me. It had a computer voice and everything. Sign system. That was good. That was really. Also had the Telos. I could call it up on my phone, and I used to plug in on here. It was called iRig. iRig. A microphone. It'd be either a little microphone or a handheld microphone. I can call the Telos, which was through the telephone system, and I could call the radio station up and go live on there without anybody being in there. So we would do football games. We would do events. If there was something tragic happening, I'd just get on the phone, plug the microphone in, call up, put in the codes that I had, and bam, I'm live on the air. I'm broadcasting everywhere across the state of Florida, just like from a phone. That was powerful. For me, that was really, really powerful. That you can run everything from. That's when I knew the world was going to change from these things. Not necessarily for the better. I want to thank you for all being here tonight. I almost said I'm sitting here right now because I was almost ready to say, and join us again on Radio Chaos, where great news, information, sports, and fun come completely out of chaos. That was my sign off. But it's not anymore. Nay, nay, say I. It's now Vacation Station TV is now officially signing off for another week. And I hope by next week that I have the new program together. Brad, late to the show. I didn't know you. When did you get here? Just got there? I'm glad you made it. Brad Lucas, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Lucas. I need an applause track. I'll get that. Don't think that I won't. I'll put that on there. That's a good idea. An applause track. Yes. And a cheering, applause, and okay. And I've got all that stuff. I forget. I forget that I use that every day. Every day. That's Marie. She's at work right now. She couldn't be here. She's with Sven, the pool boy. Honey, who's Sven? Oh, God. I had fun. I enjoyed it. And I really thank all the new subscribers this week. You guys blow me away. Keep it up. We really want to get to 1,000. If you've got some friends next to you, just have them hit the subscribe button. Sooner or later, they're going to watch the videos, and I think they're going to like them. I work so hard on those videos. I want more people to see them and see that there's quality out there. I know you got to sift through some of the stupid stuff that's there, but there is quality out there, and you guys have quality. That's why you subscribe to this station, because you guys know what you're doing. You're learning, and like I am. I'm learning every day. I'm picking up something new, and I try it. Sometimes I fall on my face. But like I told my wife the other day, like my grandfather said, even if you fall on your face, at least you're moving forward. Right? Right. It's okay to try. Now, we'll be doing this again next week, 7 to 9 p.m. That's our new time frame, 7 to 9 p.m. on Sunday. And some super, super surprises are coming up beginning sometime next week. I'm still putting in some stuff that you guys will appreciate. It says, thank you all the viewers and subscribers as well. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. She's the best. You see that? Because I don't want to be sitting here typing while I'm talking to you, because I want the eye-to-eye contact or screen-to-screen. And we love you too. He's a character, isn't she? All right, it's 9 o'clock time. Officially sign off. Brad, we'll see you next week. Okay, 7 to 9. Thanks much. And everyone else out there, 7 to 9 p.m. Right now, Vacation Station TV officially signs off the air.